BeefWatch 2024. Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Now, I know a lot of people were also caught in the crossfire, but we're not going to focus on them today because they're not the ones that keep going back and forth and creating one of the craziest diss beef battles I've ever bared witness to. I know a lot of you guys don't know that I'm a huge fan and lover of hip-hop. I actually make the genre, and I have an EP that someday I'm going to release. I really love it. It's called Lost in Translation. But today I actually went ahead and made a little timeline for y'all so we can kind of really quickly go over all of the beef. All of you guys that are really curious and want to know what's going on, I can kind of quickly tell you. As somebody in my shoes, I'm not going to go into the intricate details of what some of the dishes mean, but I will give you some flavor notes and kind of give you the big hits of everything. So, why don't we go into BeefWatch 2024, a timeline by me, Addy. First up, Drake and J. Cole drop first-person shooter. Don't mind misspellings, because I'm dyslexic and crap. Cole has a verse where he states, "Love when they argue the hardest. Is it K. Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali." Fantastic line. And he's saying that there's the big three of hip hop, right? J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick, which is, you know, to me that's a diss on everybody else that isn't them, obviously. But this struck a chord with Kendrick, as you'll see. Here we have Kendrick fires back on Future and Metro's Boomin' Like That. Kendrick spits on the idea of a big three and simply says it's just Big Me. Now, he's the only artist in any other musical genre than jazz or classical to actually receive a Pulitzer Prize for an album. Damn, that's impressive, that's crazy, so you have to give him credit. It's just Big Me, but I'm not gonna, I'm not sitting here taking sides or anything, I could see where he's coming from on that. All right, that comes up to number 3. Drake kind of responds on tour. And I'll let you guys read this if you want. I'm not going to repeat everything that they say. He kind of took a second to loosely address what was going on and then kind of just said, like, you know what, keep your head up high. I'm going to walk out of here that way tonight. So should you, which is cool. But then, of course, like any good beef, we do get to see 4. Drake launches push-ups, it goes on all major streaming platforms, and we see him attack a lot of people on this diss track, but he goes after Kendrick for the size and the fact that he does pop features with Maroon 5 and Taylor Swift, which you can see the lyrics right here. It's kind of funny dogging on him for being big enough to do a crossover. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's really cool to see genres blend and to see groups of people kind of break those barriers. That's just me though. I thought this was really cool. I don't know those songs, but I do know Poetic Justice. So like, is this Poetic Justice? The two of them going at each other after making that song together? Poetic Justice. Poetic. Freaking, that song rocks. Now, of course, right after that, we see him do a tailor-made freestyle. This was a back-to-back, kind of getting him like, we saw push-ups kind of dissing everyone. This one definitely seemed a little bit more aimed at Kendrick, but this one was very distasteful. If we're talking about artistic integrity, I can see where maybe he's coming from, but using any person that's dead and using their likeness and their voice to make a point as if it's theirs, that is one of the most messed up things you can do. You are literally spitting on somebody's grave. And that's wrong, man. You can't do that. I know they did the Tupac hologram, but I think there's a reason we didn't continue to see Tupac holograms everywhere. I mean, it's just obvious, right? He also uses an AI voice of Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg, he's alive. And he gave a really odd response to it. He didn't seem like on anybody's side necessarily, but he definitely seemed thrown off by it. So this was disrespectful. This was gross. This feud's getting out of hand. Now this is fun. This is where stuff kicks into overdrive and we actually start slinging real accusations. I mean, we've already had some disses back and forth on these tracks, but these are some real accusations that start to get slapped out through both of the people going forward from here. And it's tough. Now, of course, these are allegations. We don't know what's true about anything. There are some speculations going around that maybe somebody in Drake's crew is feeding Kendrick's crew some information. I think that's really interesting, but I also like, damn, how bad are you to the people around you that would even happen to you? So we get Euphoria's when things got personal. We see this is so direct, you have to wonder where this information is coming from. This is just the start too. He ends by saying, we don't want to hear Drake say the N-word no more, in a singy, arguably catchy way. Now, obviously me is, I don't have an opinion on this. That's kind of a big thing to say, right? He goes on by saying, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Surprised you want that feature request. Like, damn, dude. Oh, you had this cook and you must have been hating this guy for a long time after he got like some really big accolades. You asked for a feature, but then this stuff, man, come on. That's so petty. That's so petty. But at the same time, it really feels like Kendrick ignited this. Something behind the scenes maybe, but it really seemed like Kendrick ignited this. Rivalry is good for hip hop, right? But this is going too deep. 616 in LA. He's dead. The back-to-back from Kendrick, we saw a lot of people say that this was the end. Like, yo, Drake, you just got iced. It's over. He said what he had to say. He had so much to say and so many accusations, so many allegations. Dude, at this point, I would be worried if I was Drake. I would be worried, where is he getting this information if it is true? And what the hell am I gonna do? Because I have to slap back. I have to slap back, or else I'm the biggest bitch to ever walk the face of the planet. And there's no way either of these guys are gonna fucking admit something like that. Have you ever thought that OVO was working for me? Fake bully? I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everybody inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. Can't Tootsie slide up out of this one? It's just gonna resurface. Well, you know, obviously he says it way better. Never gonna try and sound like Kendrick, because he's just so good. And I'm just me. Kendrick is a savage at this point, showing Drake and everyone why he's one of the greats, but also just simply destroying him in those bars, man. Just denouncing any claim he had for greatness. Just gone, dude. You fake. You fake. So now we come to Drake finally clapping back like a menace. This was good. You see him say stuff like, you the black messiah wiping up a mixed queen and hidden vanilla cream to help out your self-esteem. Dude, he is claiming, not only is in this track is he making fun of like size and all this other stuff, but he is claiming that Kendrick is beating his wife. Like, it's crazy allegations. You can't just go out and say that, man. You can't just go out and say that without proof, man. Like, Jesus Christ. But one of the best parts about all of this is the fact that he was towing the Good Kid, Mad City van, and boy, was that visual fucking crisp. Like, destroying that as he's dissing him. Hell, that's pretty poetic in its own way, man. That's some pretty clever shit. I really gotta give it to Drake on this. He had 3 different switch-ups in this song. It was a pretty good jam all together with some massive slaps at Kendrick. It was good. But, and I have to say but immediately, because nobody was expecting Kendrick to slap back as quickly as he did. I don't know the exact time frame, but it was quick. With Meet the Grams. Now, Meet the Grams, this was something different, something unique, something just for Drake. This wasn't for us. Like Euphoria, 616, Family Matters, all this stuff has been still hip-hop, rap, all this other stuff. It's still been music for us to enjoy and listen to, have some catchy bars, have some catchiness here and there, have some slams. But Meet the Grams, this was despicable. More of a parental figure looking down on an ashamed, more like a parental figure looking down, ashamed of what his own kid is capable of. After seeing it all go down, Kendrick can't contain his disdain for Aubrey anymore. Fuck a rap battle. This is a lifelong battle with yourself. Kendrick's been holding these thoughts in for a while. He's had these things to say, way beyond when this 2024 beef started. This has been festering. This is something real. And in this song, we see him not trying to get clever, just really saying all the things that he does not like. Of course, one of the craziest accusations is Drake having a daughter that he's hiding. That's crazy. That's crazy. Also, both of them are calling each other pedophiles throughout all of this. That goes up to where we're at today, where Kendrick releasing these back-to-backs, completely destroying this guy. Like, any chance that Drake has to clap back, he completely shuts him down, and this is where he straight up just calls him a fucking pedophile. Like, I'm gonna have to listen to this one again and again to really, like, let it sink in, and I'm sure a lot of us feel that way, but it's just crazy. This has been crazy. And with that, that's BeefWatch. That's where we're at. this is all nuts. I wanted to just do a little aggregation. I wanted to make a nice little visual for y'all so you can kind of just quickly understand what's going on. And if you want to dive deeper, there is a lot of awesome people out there doing that. If you like reactions, I've been watching this guy Zane, super cool. I've been watching their reactions, Zane and B-Lou, they're super funny. I've also been, of course, dipping into some Fantano, but I'm excited to like throw my hat in the ring and maybe start doing a little bit more, you know, reviews of this stuff, because I want to be a channel that really does pretty much everything. I've always been enamored by the idea of just kind of posting whatever I like and just finding a community that is just here for what we're about, right? And I want to cover more stuff and do a lot more like stories about interesting things that are going on right now. So this is the start of it. This has been BeefWatch. I hope you enjoyed the song. I'm going to be uploading it on like TikTok for you guys to use. And yeah, just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to know what y'all are thinking about this freaking beef. It's crazy. All right. Peace out, y'all. Hey.